So let's talk about trying to branch out from NRS fighters into other genre or other fighting games. So here's the problem, right, with a lot of the NRS style. Um, Pretty much anything outside of NRS just plays completely different, right? For NRS, you have strings, you have save special. Well, I mean, those themselves are pretty universal for a lot of fighting games. But the big factor is that, like something like Strive, right? If I want to do a string, let's say like I'm playing like, I don't know, Coldal in MK11, I hit 2-2. Like, strings are not really a thing in a lot of other games, for the most part. You have like target combos in Street Fighter. You do have a couple like string, like combo strings here in Strive as well, but for the most part, any fighter outside of NRS, you really need to understand how to link your normals into a string, if it can, or combo, or whatever situation. And on top of that, they fundamentally have a harder learning curve because of the inputs. NRS really prefers the simple quarter circle forward, quarter circle back, back forward, some pretty standard motion inputs. Now, not to say that like other games don't do that, but there's a little bit of newer stuff, right? A little, not newer, but like a little bit of difference. For example, Potemkin, he has a bit of everything. He has a charge when back, forward, heavy slash. So if I do charge, back, forward, full counterfall, armored, full screen, running move thing. If I do quarter circle forward, punch, which is square in this one, those make this. If I do dragon punch motion, heavy slash, that's his bonus attack. At least it should be. Maybe it's... oh. And then you have quarter circle forward, slash, that's your slide, or whatever it's called. And then quarter circle back, punches Mega Fist backwards. Now here's the one, here's the kicker. Forward, down, back, forward punch is your banana combustion, right? And if you want to, here's some tech that is only really found in games instead of NRS. You have a character cancel. Now the idea is, my command normal, my forward 3, or forward kick here in this game, or was it 6K, right? Is the number notation. 6K, good range, right? Round start, cool. Now, I can basically do the command grab motion, and then do kick into punch. Right, so if I do it normally, command grab misses, but if I do the carry cancel, it will... There we go. It's not easy, but you can do it. Now, other fighters outside of NRS don't do this. Or, they do this, sorry. The best you're going to get in NRS fighters is like run into special or dash into special. Which does help, yes, but it's also... I don't know, it's just interesting to think about because games outside of MK, or NRS in general, just aren't as popular, both in terms of finding players to fight, as well as content to watch, or content creators and stuff like that. So, for example, I've been looking up Street Fighter V tech and guides just for the hell of it, because I was going to try and learn Street Fighter V a little bit before 6 comes out, and you don't really find a whole lot of tech, right? Especially current tech that's relevant, because they had the big, huge Street Fighter, like, final patch or whatever, like half a year ago or whatever, so there's not a whole lot of tech for that. And then, you can find so much content, like so much replayability, like, the community in general for, like, MK10, like, Destroyer's still doing tournaments for X, Coliseum's doing it, like, you're still finding a lot of stuff happening with X and 11, and even Injustice 2, but, when you go, like, I'm not saying, like, other games don't have communities, they do, they have their niches, they have their followings, like, Strive does have a fair amount of people on Twitch watching it, or YouTube content creation, but the problem is, you can't find a game in this game to play. What I mean by that is that the way the ranking system works, you can't find games, period, if you're low level, because everybody's already up in the high ranks. Like, you cannot find, like, I remember I sat there for 30 minutes waiting for a fight, couldn't get one. So that made me not want to play Strive. And then I go to King of Fighters, right? King of Fighters I enjoy because there are command grabs everywhere. And The problem with that is it's hard to learn from a blind player's perspective, let alone a sighted person's perspective. I'm sure it's hard to do there, but it's tricky because there's about like 40 something, 50 something characters in that game now. That's a lot of people. That is a lot of people. You gotta remember all their normals, specials, like ranges, all this stuff, right? And I'm including, you know, if we're looking at the blind perspective, the game sounds great, it does, but it is so hard to figure out who you're fighting based on the voices, right? Because everyone's speaking Japanese, there's no English, so like you don't know what anyone's saying, and you know, to be honest, a lot of the Japanese voices in that game sound pretty similar, so it's hard to tell who's who. So that's the other downside, is like other games outside of NRS are very niche as far as like, you know, viewership on Twitch or YouTube. Finding games in general is harder. Learning the games in general can be harder as well. So the ease of use and overall accessibility of NRS games are why, in my opinion, the blind community, if you ever just tell them, like I can jump on X right now and be like, hey, let's go play, right? You know, hit up someone in the BFGC, let's go play. Or Justice 2, or even 11. But like, hey, who in the BFGC wants to play Strive right now? Or who wants to play Street Fighter 5? And on top of that, these other games, they're harder to actually, like, just play with other friends, right? Like Street Fighter 5, you need the Capcom ID, you need to do this and that and this and that. Strive's the same deal. King of Fighters apparently is pretty easy. I don't know, I haven't really messed with it. But then, you know, MK11 or MK, just go private 1v1, send invite, done. So there's a whole bunch of barriers when you think about it to blind players getting into games outside of NRS, but with any luck, Street Fighter 6 will fix this issues with any luck. And yeah, hope you guys are here for it, because I hope to try and branch into Street Fighter content creation. It's going to be a learning curve for sure. I really think I'm going to be using that fight stick a lot more on Street Fighter, especially with the way the normals and specials and inputs and everything works. I'm probably using the fight stick a lot. Excuse me again. Where like most games I can get away with just using the analog stick like normal. But I really think Street Fighter is a game where I need the arcade stick, which I already have anyway, so I might as well use it, right? So yeah, I hope you guys are here for it, and hope you guys are interested, because I want to try and do some content creation outside of NRS games, because I'm kind of not wanting to play them much anymore. I mean, I did my last tournament as a Terminator main in MK11. You know, Diablo 4 is right around the corner, Street Fighter 6 right around the corner. Like, there won't be much of a reason for me to want to play NRS titles much longer. Because hopefully the BFGC all come together on Street Fighter 6 and, you know, play that game. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. So if you guys enjoyed, I will leave you with a final Potemkin Buster. Come on.
Screwed up. What does it? Can't run.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed.